Austin, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
Man, there was a lot of hype on you, the best prospect in America. You went out there and delivered. How did you feel about your performance?
Felt good, you know. Game plan coming in was, I've said it in my interview before, I said first round I get them tired, and by the second round or early third, I'm going to finish them.
Yeah, I mean that first round you were going balls to the walls. Like, was that the game plan? Just go right at him?
Yeah, get him tired, and I felt it, especially at the end of the first round. I heard those deep breaths from him, and going into the second round, I knew I was going to finish him.
How disappointed were you that Tommy pulled out of the fight and Ramos went up and fought you instead?
It is what it is, man. I'm not really thinking about that. It would have been nice to humble him, though, but it's his loss. On 3-day notice, you pull out due to injury. I'm not really buying that.
You were vocal for a long time that you wanted to take your time to get to the UFC. Took a lot of fights. Everybody was expecting you to be in the UFC 2 years ago, but you wanted to take your time. Do you think, obviously it paid off by now, but do you regret that at all, or do you think it was all part of the plan?
I don't regret that one bit. That was all part of the plan. I said it so many times that people come into the UFC at an early, not even age, but like rarely any experience, and you see them get beat up in the UFC. My whole thing was making sure I have enough fights with tough people, which I have, and yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people saw you fight at bantamweight. Now you're at featherweight. Now that you've had 2 featherweight fights under your belt, how do you feel in there?
Feels good. My last 5 cuts to bantamweight was super rough, but here at featherweight, don't get me wrong, it is still pretty hard, but it's a lot more lenient.
When would you like to make your UFC debut?
I like to be active. I like to get 3 to 4 fights a year, so take a little time off, but before the end of the year, for sure, we'll want to make my UFC debut.
And I've asked you before, but a nickname? Are you still putting out your feelers for a nickname? I was thinking, maybe Austin Bashi Smashy or Austin Smashy Bashi. I'm just throwing it out there.
I've heard that one before. I don't know. I just like the original, Austin Bashi.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Austin, Dana said you kind of took your time in order to craft up the performance you did, saying you probably could have finished it earlier. Would you say that's like an accurate description of your performance, and that's how you felt inside there, or was it just, would you not agree with that?
Well, I like taking my time. I try not rushing, and that's something my coaches always tell me: don't rush, take your time. So, taking my time in there, feeling him out, that was part of it.
And obviously what Alex said, the Tommy fight, that's one a lot of regional fans were excited for this season. Let's say Tommy does get into the UFC. Is that someone you'd like to face in the UFC?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't even want to hear that guy's name. He had an opportunity and he backed out. To me, that's a no name to me.
And obviously in the featherweight division, big fight booked for in October. How do you see the Ilya Topuria-Max Holloway fight going?
Expect another crazy fight. Both of those guys always come out and show out, and I got Ilya though in that one.
Sure. Last one for me. Obviously, we've seen a lot of prospects come over here on Contender in the UFC. What is something you're looking to do in order to stand out amongst every single prospect that's made their way inside to the UFC?
Yeah, just keep on growing. Like Dana said, I'm very young. I'm only 22, but I have 13 fights now, 13-0, and my last 5 fights were finishes, some TKOs, and some chokes. And I plan on doing the same, getting some more finishes, finishing people on the feet, finishing people on the floor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All good? Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.